Taraba Raw Talent on your favorite TV station. I am Fomi Desmond and I welcome you on board. I want to let you know that we have a lot of things to discuss this evening with you, and I will encourage that you stay very glued to your TV set. Of course, Taraba Raw Talent is that special program that keeps you abreast with all the talents that we have in the state, and we do our best to see that we educate our young people on the tips or principles or few things that they need to understand about talent. You know, talents are natural endowment that have been placed in us by the Almighty God. Today we have an amazing guest in the studio. I'm talking about Joy Yusuf Deborah. She happens to be a spoken word and voiceover artist. She's a multi-talented lady. I'm super excited that she's here to speak with us or to share with us insightful thought on self-discovery and personal growth. That's what we'll be discussing today. So, good to have you in the studio, Joy.
Thank you for having me.
Wow, I love your haircut. Thank you. All right. So, quickly, let's look at, let's just talk briefly about the spoken word and the voice-over. How is it like? How is it like? Share a little on it before we go to the main topic of today.
I started spoken word in about 7 years now.
Wow.
And voiceover came up much later. Mm-hmm. But it's been a lot, a lot of growth.
Wow.
A lot of learning along the way. But I think the most important thing is just putting yourself out there.
That's right.
And for the spoken word, it's quite humbling to see that words that I wrote in my room, impact people.
Wow.
So, yes.
Okay. I know with this introduction from you, I believe that this topic will balance because you'll be sharing some of the experiences that you had along the line to where you are today. I'm happy that you said earlier it was spoken word and later on voiceover came in. So there was a kind of modulation, there was a kind of movement. All right, now let's look at self-discovery. Self-discovery, let's look at self-discovery. Let's speak to that, self-discovery.
Okay. When someone mentions self-discovery, I think the emphasis for me is actually the discovery part. Like, that's the part that stands out, because if it's self-discovery, that means you're not defining yourself. You're finding out yourself. You're finding yourself.
That's right.
Right? So self-discovery is essentially finding out what you are or who you are.
That's right.
So who you are is the first question. Who am I? That's the first question on the road to self-discovery, as well as, okay, what am I like when I'm not around people? Because a lot of times as people, generally, essentially, I like to call it wearing masks, right? Social constructs.
Yeah.
Oh, if you're in the midst of people, you don't smart much, you do this, you do that. So those are all masks, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Right? And so when all that is gone, who am I? That's part of the journey. So.
Wow, that's amazing. I think in a nutshell, what she's saying is that self-discovery is actually looking at who you are, where you're going to, and what you want. So these are the key things that rally around self-discovery. Now, let's look at the generation that we have at hand right now, the young people that we have around us. Before we go further to other questions, let's look at it. Are you seeing it as a challenge for this generation in the aspect of self-discovery? Are you seeing people having challenge in that area?
Oh, yes. I feel sometimes I go on social media and I get saddened because it's quite obvious that a lot of people, not just young people, permit me to say,
yes,
are very confused. And I do not speak as somebody that has figured it all out.
Right?
Because
we are all learning.
Self-discovery is a lifetime thing. You're always finding out new things about yourself. You're always improving. But then there are essentials, like the foundation, and a lot of us as youth or as people generally have not figured that out yet. That's something that is the bedrock of personal growth.
Okay. That means you have a deficiency in that area. So it's very, very important that our young people, not just our young people, like you rightly said, It's important that we look at what we actually want, where we are going to, and who we want to be. It's important that we look at these things critically, because giving consideration to that, we actually shape and bring out the best in us. Now, let's look at, after identifying that, okay, I have not discovered anything, because that may be the position of somebody. This program is basically to encourage somebody to, like, okay, please do this so that you can have this result. Now, let's look at, for someone who has not actually understood the idea or the concept of self-discovery, what are those things that you feel that someone can consider as steps to actually go to where he or she wants to? You can use some of your experiences as examples to where you are today.
So, going on my own experience, and then also kind of, I like to study people, right? I like to just observe people, behavior. And I've noticed that a lot of us tend to have that, let me call it identity crisis. In our teenage or preteens, right? And so for me, I think that happened around that time. And when it happened, I just wanted to find out, okay, so this is me, this is what I can do, but what am I? Who am I? And the reason why these questions came up was because I realized that I didn't really fit anywhere.
That's right.
Right? And I was tired of molding myself to fit into places that just didn't make sense. It's kind of like putting a square peg in your hole.
Yeah.
Right? So I was like, okay, so what exactly is this peg? So
that you're putting around hole.
Right? And so for me, it started like that. And the questions I mentioned earlier, who am I? I remember the first time I asked myself that question, I cried, which sounds quite dramatic.
It means you must have been very confused with a lot of things. And
I mean, it was a lot. So it was like, okay, so who am I? And I was just staring at myself. I think I was looking at the mirror when I asked myself that question. And it was like, okay, so answer. Who are you? And all I could come up with was, oh, I'm Joy. And it felt so shallow. It was like, okay, so if
apart from Joy,
is that all? Right? And then I was like, okay, so there should be more. Right? There should be more about me. Okay, so my name is Joy. That's what I knew. So who am I? And then I said, okay, things I liked. Those were simpler things to answer, right? So what are the things I like? I was able to, okay, I like this one. But why do I pretend in front of people that I don't like it?
Yes.
Because I'm trying to, okay, so that means I should hang on to this because this is part of my identity, is what I like. And then, okay, so now that I know that this is what I like, this is what I can do, okay, so what do I have passion for? That was a big question. Because it was like, okay, this is too deep for me. Right? So for a while, I kind of ignored that question. Like, I knew the things I liked, I knew the things I loved, but the whole part of passion was like, nah, not now.
Not now. You should hold on first.
Yes. So I even though I found out what I was passionate, that whole conversation with myself was something I was scared of approaching because it felt like I was taking life too seriously. And I think that's where community is important.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
Because if I had been in a community of like-minded people around that time, that journey would have been
easier.
Yes. Easier. But so I mean, some of those questions were answered along the way. So for me, it's a journey. Yeah. It's not just a one-time thing. You don't get to answer all the questions at once.
Yeah.
But like I mentioned, it's important that you're in a community of like-minded people or people that you want to be like. Right? So for me, can I mention them here?
Feel free.
Okay, yes. So let me just clear the air. This is not an ad. But so for me, it was Youth Making Impact.
Okay.
They have branches here in Jalingo, in Jos, and Yola.
Okay, Youth Making Impact.
Youth Making Impact.
Wow.
That's an organization with youth, run by youth for youth. and of the youth.
All inclusive.
Yes, all inclusive. And for me, when I got there, it kind of validated all those questions I had within me. Because sometimes you get to talk to some people and they're like, life not too serious like that. Yes, but then I met the people that were as serious as I was. So
and they were facing their fears, like
they were more serious. I was like, I thought I was too serious, but this is my boss. So that helped a lot. And self-discovery is not self-definition. It's not self-definition. I think the most important thing for you to realize is that it's not self-definition. So don't put yourself in a box by saying, "Oh, this is me." Okay, this kind of also. But then you say, "This is me. This is how God created me." That's the end, right? You discover certain things about yourself, maybe some bad characters that you finally tell yourself the truth about, and you want to change it. You can't just sit down and say, "This is me." You work on it.
All right. The important thing here is knowing who you are and what you want and where you're going to is paramount. So it's left for you to make a choice on what to do. All right, we'll go on a quick break. We'll come back. We'll still have something very interesting for you. Don't go away. Stay with us.
Welcome to Blue Nile Hotel, right here in the heart of Jalingo, Taraba State, the hub of comfort, class, and convenience. Whether you are here for business or leisure, our rooms are spacious, neat, and designed for total comfort. Our state-of-the-art conference room is fully equipped. Hosting a celebration, our elegant event hall is perfect, customizable to your needs. After a long day, step into our fully stocked bar, offering a wide selection of local and international drinks in a cozy, laid-back atmosphere. For peace and quiet, relax in our beautifully landscaped outdoor area. Your security is guaranteed. Call us now on 090-3451-9565. Your perfect stay awaits.
All right, welcome back from that break. Sorry if you're just joining us. This is the Taraba Raw Talent, and we'll be speaking with Joy Yusuf. She happens to be a multi-talented lady, and for you, those that are just listening to or watch that very jingle in respect to Blue Nile, right? She's the one that did the voiceover. What an amazing voice. Okay, so we've been discussing about self-discovery and personal growth. These are two concepts that are very, very important. And as a young person, if you don't consider these two things, you will not get things right. So it is very, very important that you address most of these things so that you have good results. So that's what we've been talking about. And quickly, we'll be looking at personal growth. Now that you discover yourself, now that you know what you want, now that you know who you are, what you want, and where you're going to, how do you stay balanced on that frequency? Because it's actually a journey. It's actually a journey. So if you don't move, you'll be left behind. Yeah. That's where personal growth now comes in. Let's speak to that.
Okay, there's this saying I live by. It's that if you're not growing, you're dying.
If you're not growing, you're dying.
You're dying. And you literally can see it in nature. Right? If a plant is not growing, there's something wrong with it, and it's going to eventually die. So the same thing applies. And you can't talk about self-discovery and not talk about personal growth. I cannot talk about those two without talking about purpose.
That's right.
Because that's the aim of all that, right? So in self-discovery, a lot of times you start to feel those, I'll call them rumblings. I'm a poet, so
you create your words.
I call them rumblings. You start to feel those rumblings of there's something more. What's there, right? And so as you're going, you've discovered, okay, these are the things about myself that I know. Do I need to improve on this, or do I need to get rid of this? Because you're going to find out a lot of things you will not be happy about, right? Mindsets, habits, maybe some of them, that remind you of certain people that you don't like in them, and you're like, okay, I can see the beginnings of these things, I need to tackle it. So that's what personal growth starts with at the beginning, and then eventually you want to. The goal is not to become a different person overnight, right? As you know, a lot of my friends will say, just grow 1%.
Just grow 1%.
Just 1% every day. Get better by 1%, and eventually you realize that it's a whole 360.
That's right.
So personal growth is just those tiny steps, those little steps. Using myself as an example, and again, I don't say this as someone that has made it in quotes.
That's right.
I'm on a journey.
Yes.
So I used to have, I sing too. So I used to have a very light voice when I was younger. I didn't like it. I didn't like it.
You wanted to have a better,
yes, I wanted a voice with more texture. And so I decided, I didn't read it anywhere. I just thought of it. I was like, okay, let me try it. So I decided to start forcing my voice to be deeper. I don't know how recommended that would be though, so don't take it from me. But I started to do little things that would just
balance up with what you want.
Get to where I wanted. And then as time went on, it became a habit. I even forgot about it. Until one day I just woke up and realized, hold up, my voice has changed. It's not as light as it was. So as, should I say, vanity-ish?
Now let's look at something. Now, do you enjoy the voice you have now? Right? Are you okay with the voice? Has it balanced to what you initially wanted to have?
Yes. Even though looking back now, I feel like I should have loved my voice the way it was, right? But that's also a journey I've embarked on. So I love my voice the way it is right now, and I think part of that particular work I did on myself made it more flexible, so I can do high pitched voices, deep voices, and all that. So I mean, it's an advantage as a voiceover artist too.
You know, I'm tempted to say you should sing right now. I'm tempted to say that way. And if you don't mind, you can do it. Anyone you feel like doing. You know, it's a raw talent show. So anything that is raw, anything that we can have here, not actually going to cook with keyboard and other things. Let's just have it raw. And if it's a familiar song, I can join you to sing because I fall in that category too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll sing from my song I'm working on currently.
Oh.
So you're going to probably be hearing.
Yeah, I'll be hearing this for the first time. Go ahead.
Okay. Zuciata kainena keso rayuata kainena keso. So that's the chorus of the song.
That's the chorus. Just leave it there.
I'm not giving you everything.
And I know after this now, if you are still giving opportunity, a spoken word will come in. I know it will come in because I was already feeling that already. Now let's look at the impact side of it. Like, do you train people or do you coach people stay in the line of what you do?
I used to run away from that. I still am trying to get myself used to the idea. Because, like I said, I don't see myself as someone who has gone anywhere. That regard, so I feel like there's still more to learn.
That's right.
But I'm launching a voiceover course next month.
Okay, voiceover.
Yes,
course.
in voiceover. So for people that want to be voiceover artists and just train their voices to be better. I think even podcasters have shown interest in that course.
Wow.
Just to help you figure out the basics of voiceover. So yes, that's that.
Okay.
That's all I've been able to allow myself to do.
The program you're looking at, is it going to be taking place here in Jalingo or you're doing it somewhere else?
It's online actually. So
online?
Anywhere.
Wow. So distance is not a barrier to that program. So let's look at it. Next month, so what are the expectations of that program? Apart from people having interest to maybe participate in that program, are there criteria, are there principles, or maybe some steps that one needs to follow sequentially to actually get to be approved for that? Let's speak to that.
For my voiceover course, you just need to be willing to learn and dedicate one day in your weekend for a month, and of course make the payments.
Yeah, it's the interesting part.
Yes.
Make the payment.
Yes.
You should make the payment so that they will arrange your voice to have that flavor that it's supposed to be. Oh, go ahead, please.
So yeah, that's it, and it covers quite a bit because as a voiceover artist, you're not just selling your voice; you are helping people bring the image or their imagination to life. So you need to be able to interpret what they're telling you. You need to be able to put the right emotions where, know how to do all that, and also have a little bit of copywriting skills, right, with scripts writing and all that. So all that will be taught in that course, alongside a lot of other things. So
And you want to make it online. What are your considerations for online? And looking at, you have good number of people here in the state that they love what you're doing. And what are your considerations? Looking at it online and the physical meeting?
I made it online because it can be taught online, and also for the fact that a lot of people might not have that flexibility of having every weekend free, because weekends can be crazy, right? So having that flexibility so that even if they don't get to attend, maybe they miss one class, they can just get the recording, right, and catch up with it. So as opposed to having a physical class where even if you're going to record, it's going to take a lot more logistics and all that. So it works. I feel it works better for both parties, right?
Yeah. So for now, there's no date yet. Are we having it? Do you have a date?
The date for the launch of the course is currently 9th of June.
9th of June.
Yes.
Okay.
So there might be a change, there might not be, but just if you're interested, you can plan for that.
Let's keep our fingers crossed for 9th of June to see what Joy will be bringing to us. I can tell you this for free. Joy is she's super intelligent and she's a multi-talented person. I know you confirm that because she has exhibited that here already. And all I can tell you is to maybe come very close to her. I think it is good that maybe you also share your social media handle so that someone can maybe get to meet you through that platform, either Twitter, Facebook, and.
Well, you can find me on Facebook as Joy Yusuf.
Okay.
In brackets J Bliss, because that's my stage name. And then on TikTok and Instagram at _J Bliss, THE_J Bliss, Pure Bliss, but then without the pure in front of it.
Oh, I almost thought of Pure Bliss, the biscuit.
Like, most people are like, oh, is it Pure Bliss? Oh, this is Bliss. I'm like, no, it's J Bliss. So, yes, and of course, there'll be information about, I have an event coming up in June, so I'll be posting information about that as well. So we have like 2 things in June already.
2 things in June.
Yes.
So do you like to speak about the 2 things in June? We only spoke of one.
Okay.
9th June, right? Then what about the other part? How is it like? Or it's not related to us?
It is. I mean, I want you to come.
Oh, wow. So if it's related to us, let's have it.
Okay, so the event itself is called Unmasked. It is an art-centric event that is also meant to create an atmosphere for emotional healing. I mean, with art, poetry, of course, singing, rapping, dancing, all that, just to give you that safe space. If you want to cry, you can cry. If you want to beat somebody, you go outside and punch the wall, all that. But on a serious note though, it's going to be amazing. we're working. I came from a meeting regarding the event here.
Yeah.
So it's going to be amazing, and it's the information about it will be on my social media handles. So there are a lot of things that haven't been completely decided yet.
Okay.
So, but yes, and I'm releasing my song, the one I just sang.
Wow.
It's called Surrender.
Surrender.
Yes.
Okay.
It is.
But I heard you singing a song in Hausa.
It's a mix of English and Hausa.
Oh, okay.
So the chorus is in Hausa while the rest of the song is in English.
Okay.
I just, yeah.
It's good you choose it that way, because having a touch of Hausa and the English, it will balance it off. All right. We've been listening to Joy, and you agree with me that Joy has a lot for us. All I can tell you is for you to follow her social media handle and get everything right. Your last line, what's your advice to our people? That will serve as your last line on the show. We'll pack our things out of the studio. Yes.
Okay. What I would say is take it easy on yourself, but also don't put a cap on your abilities. Always seek to grow, seek to learn, never stop learning, never collect the mindset, because people will try to sell it to you. Never buy the mindset that you have arrived, because there's no arrival until you're done. It's your purpose on earth. So, yes.
All right, Joy, thank you for coming on the show. Thank you so much. All right, that's what we have for you today, but allow me to say thank you for staying very glued to your TV set. I want to tell you that the experience of Taraba Raw Talent doesn't end with the show. We still have amazing stories on our handle, right? And quickly, if you've not heard of Taraba Got Talent, then you are still very far from us, because that's one of the biggest programs that is coming to Taraba State, celebrating talented individuals. And the winner is going back home with 1 million, and we will have consolation prizes for other positions. So make sure you register and be part of that amazing program. It is very, very important. Taraba Raw Talent, in collaboration with Taraba News, Taraba Business School, and Some TV, presenting Taraba Got Talent. You can't miss this program. I know you're talented, and you just need to make sure that you register and partake in this very program. So, I am Fomi Desmond, and I'm wishing you a wonderful night. Bye, and see you.